stop. That healthy bedtime snack might be spiking your blood sugar to dangerous levels while you sleep. Hi there, friends. I'm here with some shocking news that could save your life. If you're over 60, there are 8 foods that doctors call healthy, but they're secretly making your blood sugar go crazy, even when you're sleeping peacefully in bed. Welcome to USA Senior Ortho, and I've helped thousands of seniors just like you take control of their health. Today I'm going to share the truth that the food industry doesn't want you to know. Before we dive in, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. Trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. This information could literally save your life. Food number 1, instant oatmeal. I know. Your doctor probably told you oatmeal is heart healthy, and regular oats are great. But serious instant oatmeal is a different beast entirely. Instant oatmeal is processed so much that it acts like sugar in your body. When you eat it, your blood sugar shoots up faster than a rocket. Studies show that instant oatmeal can raise blood sugar by 50 to 80 points within 30 minutes. Remember Bob, a 72-year-old retired teacher? He ate instant oatmeal every morning for breakfast. By 10 a.m., he was shaky, sweaty, and couldn't concentrate. His wife thought he was having mini strokes. Concern turns out it was just his blood sugar roller coaster. Advising switch to steel-cut oats or old-fashioned oats. They take longer to cook, but they won't spike your blood sugar like instant varieties. Now let's unpack why this happens in a way that's easy to understand, without the medical jargon. Instant oatmeal is what's called a high glycemic index food. That means your body digests it super quickly, converting it into sugar in your bloodstream almost instantly. It's like eating table sugar in disguise. The problem? When your blood sugar spikes that fast, your body releases a flood of insulin to bring it back down. But that crash? That's what causes those dizzy spells, fatigue, and hunger just an hour or two later. This isn't just theory. The American Diabetes Association warns that highly processed grains like instant oatmeal can worsen insulin resistance, especially in seniors. And if you're already pre-diabetic or diabetic, that bowl of healthy instant oatmeal could be quietly pushing you in the wrong direction. Warning: even worse, most instant oatmeals are loaded with hidden sugars and artificial flavorings. Skeptical maple brown sugar. That's often just brown-colored syrup with high fructose corn syrup. Some packets contain over 12 grams of added sugar. That's 3 teaspoons in one tiny serving. Shocked. So while the box might say heart healthy or whole grain, the reality is more complicated. You're much better off with steel-cut oats, old-fashioned rolled oats, or even overnight oats. These take longer to digest, which means they give you a slow, steady stream of energy. No spikes, no crashes. Reassuring. Here's a quick tip. Add cinnamon, chia seeds, or a spoonful of almond butter to boost flavor and nutrition naturally, without needing extra sugar. So next time you're reaching for that instant oatmeal packet, thoughtful, think twice. Your body and your blood sugar will thank you. Food number 2. Dried fruit. Fruit is healthy, right? Well, yes and no. Fresh fruit is wonderful, but dried fruit is concentrated sugar bombs. When fruit is dried, all the water disappears, but the sugar stays. A small handful of raisins has the same sugar as 2 to 3 whole grapes, but your brain doesn't realize you're eating that much sugar. Plus, dried fruit often has added sugar. Linda, a 65-year-old yoga instructor, was snacking on dried cranberries thinking they were healthy. She couldn't understand why her energy crashed every afternoon. When she switched to fresh berries, her energy became steady all day long. Choose fresh fruit instead. If you must have dried fruit, limit it to just a tablespoon and pair it with nuts or cheese. Now let's be honest, dried fruit sounds like the perfect snack. It's portable, mess-free, and marketed with words like natural, organic, and harvested by unicorns. But here's the thing, Dried fruit is like the sneaky cousin at the family reunion who looks sweet but steals your wallet when you're not looking. Dried fruit might come from wholesome produce, but it's basically fruit with all its water sucked out like a raisin in the desert, leaving behind a sticky, sugary shell. Think about it. Would you ever sit down and eat 30 grapes in one go? Probably not. But a small handful of raisins? Gone in 10 seconds flat. Your body still gets all the sugar, but your stomach doesn't register fullness the same way. It's like eating candy disguised as health food. Even trail mix, the golden child of healthy snacking, becomes a sugar trap when it's half-dried fruit and M&Ms. And let's not forget those healthy-looking dried banana chips. Spoiler alert, they're often deep-fried. Yes, you heard that right. Deep-fried fruit. That's like washing down a kale smoothie with a donut and calling it balanced. According to the USDA, a half cup of raisins contains around 43 grams of sugar. That's more than a can of Coca-Cola. And while it's natural sugar, your blood sugar doesn't know the difference. It spikes just the same. High blood sugar roller coasters can drain your energy, increase cravings, and over time, lead to insulin resistance. Not exactly the golden years anyone's dreaming of. So, if you're snacking smart over 60, choose whole fresh fruit. It's got water, fiber, and far fewer surprises. Want sweetness without the crash? Grab a handful of blueberries, not dried mango. Your blood sugar and your waistband will thank you. Dried fruit isn't evil, but it's not innocent either. Treat it like candy, not salad. Moderation, people, and maybe skip the banana chips unless you're prepping for a sugar-fueled marathon across Texas. Food number 3, whole grain bread. This one might surprise you the most. We've been told whole grain bread is healthy, and yes, compared to white bread, it is the better option. But that doesn't mean it's a free pass, especially for seniors. Even whole grain bread breaks down into sugar in your body. Your aging digestive system processes it almost as fast as white bread. In fact, research shows that 2 slices of whole grain bread can raise blood sugar just as much as eating 4 teaspoons of sugar. That's right, 4 teaspoons. Let that sink in. If someone handed you a spoonful of sugar and said, "Eat up, it's heart healthy," you'd probably give them a side eye and walk away. But when it's hidden in a brown, seedy slice of bread, suddenly it seems legit. That's the trap. Here's the deal. Whole grain bread sounds like a good idea. It's got whole in the name. It looks earthy. It's covered in oats and sunflower seeds. Some even have packaging with a sun rising over a wheat field. How could that possibly be bad? But your body isn't reading labels or looking at scenic farm images. It's dealing with blood sugar spikes, and those spikes matter, especially as you get older. As we age, our insulin sensitivity tends to drop, meaning our body doesn't handle sugar, or carbs that quickly turn into sugar, as efficiently. This means foods like bread, even the fancy 12-grain, stone-ground, yoga teacher-approved kind, can cause unexpected energy crashes, weight gain, and increase the risk of type 2 diabetes. And let's not forget portion creep. When was the last time you ate just 1 slice of bread? Most sandwiches come with 2 slices, and toast is a 2-for-1 deal by default. Add a little jam, maybe some honey, or even that healthy almond butter, and suddenly your blood sugar is throwing a party, and you weren't even invited. Now, this doesn't mean you have to ban bread from your life, like it's an ex who owes you money. But it does mean being smart about how often you eat it, and what you pair it with. If you really want a slice, make it count. Go for high-fiber, sprouted grain options, and eat it with protein and healthy fats like eggs, avocado, or cheese to help slow down the sugar spike. Whole grain bread isn't evil, but it's not a magic health food either. For seniors watching their blood sugar, it's more like a sneaky carb in disguise. So maybe don't make it the star of every meal. This isn't 1970 anymore. We have better options. Food number 4. Orange juice. Orange juice seems so innocent, doesn't it? It's just fruit, after all. But here's the shocking truth. A glass of orange juice has more sugar than a can of soda. 1 cup of orange juice contains about 8 teaspoons of sugar. When you drink it, all that sugar hits your bloodstream at once. There's no fiber to slow it down like there is in a whole orange. Your blood sugar can jump 60 to 80 points in just 15 minutes. Let's put that into perspective. Imagine someone cracking open a can of soda for breakfast and saying, "Hey, it's healthy. It's made from corn." Sounds ridiculous, right? But that's exactly what millions of people are doing with orange juice every morning. We just dress it up with words like fresh squeezed, not from concentrate, or 100% pure. And suddenly it sounds like a spa treatment for your insides. But your pancreas doesn't care how pure the label says it is. It just sees sugar, and lots of it. Here's the problem. When you juice an orange, you're stripping away all the natural fiber, the part that actually slows down sugar absorption and helps you feel full. What you're left with is a sugary liquid that floods your system like a roller coaster on a caffeine high. And just like a roller coaster, there's always a crash. Now, before you throw your juicer out the window, let's be clear. Oranges themselves are not the villain. Eating a whole orange gives you vitamins, antioxidants, and that all-important fiber. But drinking orange juice? That's like skipping the movie and jumping straight to the plot twist. Except the twist is a blood sugar spike. And for seniors, this matters more than ever. As we age, our ability to regulate blood sugar declines. That means fast sugar hits, like those from juice, are even more dangerous. They can leave you feeling tired, jittery, or worse, can push prediabetes into full-blown type 2 diabetes territory. Not exactly the sunshine in a glass you were hoping for. Even the so-called no added sugar juices aren't innocent. The natural sugars from the fruit are still potent, and in juice form, you can easily drink the sugar from 3 to 4 oranges in less than a minute. When was the last time you peeled and chewed 4 oranges back to back? Exactly. So next time you're reaching for that orange juice for your vitamin C, consider eating a whole orange instead. Or better yet, pair it with some protein for a steady energy boost. Because orange juice isn't the healthy breakfast buddy we thought it was. It's more like a sugar bomb in disguise, wearing a bright smile and pretending to be good for you. Don't fall for the act. Food number 5. Low-fat yogurt. Wait, what? Yogurt is supposed to be healthy, and it can be. But most low-fat yogurts are actually sugar disasters in disguise. When food companies remove fat from yogurt, they have to make up for the lost flavor somehow. And guess what they add? Sugar. Lots of it. In fact, some low-fat yogurts have just as much sugar as a scoop of ice cream. So, unless your goal is to eat dessert for breakfast, it might be time to check that label. Now, let's talk real talk. The low-fat craze started back in the 1980s when everything, and I mean everything, from cookies to peanut butter was slapped with a low-fat label and sold as health food. That era also gave us leg warmers, neon workout gear, and Richard Simmons. Great for a laugh, terrible for nutrition advice. Here's the issue. Fat isn't the villain it was made out to be. In fact, for seniors, healthy fats are crucial. They help with brain health, hormone balance, and keeping you feeling full longer. But when yogurt manufacturers yank the fat out, they're left with a bland, chalky product nobody wants to eat. So what do? They dump in sugar, fruit flavoring, stabilizers, and sometimes even food coloring to make it taste and look natural. Spoiler alert, there's nothing natural about strawberry-flavored yogurt that glows like a lava lamp. And don't be fooled by those tiny cups with the words light, low-fat, or sugar-free slapped across the front. The The sugar-free ones often use artificial sweeteners like sucralose or aspartame. Here's the kicker. Those sweeteners can actually trick your brain into craving more sugar. So you eat the yogurt, then suddenly you're hunting down cookies an hour later like a bloodhound at a bake sale. Not helpful. Let's break it down. One serving of low-fat fruit yogurt can contain 18 to 25 grams of sugar. That's 5 to 6 teaspoons in just a few spoonfuls. That's basically dessert in disguise. So, what's the better option? Go for plain, full-fat yogurt, preferably Greek style. It's rich, creamy, and actually keeps you full thanks to the combo of protein and fat. Want flavor? Add a few fresh berries, a sprinkle of cinnamon, or a drizzle of raw honey. Now that's a yogurt worth eating. And your blood sugar won't spike like it's on a trampoline. Low-fat yogurt might wear a health halo, but under the lid, it's often just a sugar trap with fancy packaging. Don't let it fool you, your body, and your sweet tooth. Food number 6. Granola and granola bars. Granola seems so wholesome and natural, but most commercial granola is basically candy with a health halo. Granola is usually loaded with sugar, honey, and dried fruit. A small bowl can contain 20 to 30 grams of sugar. That's like eating 7 sugar cubes. Granola bars are often even worse, with added corn syrup and artificial ingredients. Let's be real. If it walks like a dessert and talks like a dessert, it's probably dessert. Granola may have started out as a good idea, whole grains, nuts, maybe a touch of honey. But somewhere along the line, food companies turned it into a sugar-coated trap. You think you're eating something fit for a yoga-loving squirrel, but what you're really eating is a glorified candy bar that's been dressed up in a flannel shirt and Birkenstocks. Here's the sneaky part. Food packaging is designed to trick your brain. Words like natural, whole grain, and lightly sweetened are basically marketing voodoo. The FDA doesn't regulate these phrases strictly, so companies can slap them on anything that isn't literally radioactive. And boom, now that granola bar feels like a smart choice, even though it might have the same sugar count as a glazed donut from the gas station. Now let's talk numbers. According to the American Heart Association, the recommended daily intake of added sugar is 25 grams for women and 36 grams for men. So if your granola bar has 22 grams of sugar, many do, you've nearly maxed out your sugar limit before lunch. Congrats, you just hit your sugar quota while pretending to be healthy. That's like trying to save money by buying a yacht on sale. But it has oats and fiber. Sure, but that fiber comes bundled with enough sugar to power a toddler through a trampoline park. And don't even get me started on the yogurt drizzle or chocolate chunks. Those aren't healthy extras, they're sugar bombs wearing khaki pants trying to sneak into the healthy section. Even the so-called low-sugar options often use sneaky sweeteners like brown rice syrup or fruit concentrate. Sounds fancy, right? But your body doesn't care about fancy. It treats all those sugars the same. Blood sugar spikes, insulin crashes, cravings kick in, and you're back in the pantry looking for something else to munch on. So what's the better move? Make your own granola at home. It's cheaper, you control the ingredients, and you can keep the sugar where it belongs, sprinkled lightly, not dumped in like it's Mardi Gras. Or skip granola altogether and go for raw nuts, Greek yogurt, unsweetened, or good old-fashioned fruit. Don't be fooled by the earthy packaging and buzzwords. Granola might look like it's headed to a farmer's market, but it's actually sneaking off to a dessert buffet. Stay smart, read labels, and remember, just because it comes in a health food aisle doesn't mean it's innocent. Food number 7, white rice, even the healthy varieties. Rice is a staple food for billions of people. But for seniors with blood sugar concerns, it can be problematic. White rice is almost pure starch, which turns into sugar very quickly in your body. Even brown rice, while better than white, can cause blood sugar spikes in sensitive individuals. The glycemic index of white rice is nearly as high as pure sugar. Try cauliflower rice, quinoa, or barley instead. If you must have rice, limit portions to 1/3 cup and pair it with protein and vegetables. Now, before anyone throws their rice cooker out the window, let's be clear. We're not saying rice is evil, but for seniors trying to keep blood sugar in check, rice is kind of like that charming neighbor who always shows up uninvited and eats all your snacks, looks harmless, but causes a lot more drama than expected. Here's the science. The glycemic index, GI, measures how quickly a food spikes your blood sugar. On this scale, pure glucose clocks in at 100. White rice? It's not far behind, averaging around 73 to 89, depending on the variety. That's basically your pancreas yelling, "Mayday! We've got a situation!" every time you dive into a big bowl of the stuff. And sure, brown rice is often marketed as the healthier sibling. And yes, it's got a bit more fiber and nutrients. But when it comes to blood sugar, it's not exactly an angel either. For some people, especially seniors who may already have insulin resistance, brown rice can still cause significant blood sugar spikes. It's kind of like switching from regular soda to diet soda and thinking you've joined a fitness cult. Slightly better? Maybe. Problem solved? Not even close. Let's not forget portion sizes. Most people eat rice by the bowl, not the spoonful. But the ideal portion size for those watching their blood sugar? Just 1/3 cup cooked. That's about the size of a golf ball. And no, a rice mountain with a piece of broccoli on top doesn't count as balanced. Here's a trick. Pair your rice, in small amounts, with lean protein and fiber-rich veggies. This slows down how fast your body turns the rice into sugar. Think of it like putting speed bumps on a sugar roller coaster. Or better yet, swap the rice for something with more fiber and fewer blood sugar spikes. Cauliflower rice, quinoa, barley, or farro are excellent alternatives. Plus, they won't leave you in a post-carb coma where you question all your life choices, like eating 3 servings of sushi rolls and wondering why you need a nap. Rice isn't the enemy, but it's not your best friend either. If you're over 60 and watching your blood sugar, rice should be treated like a guest. Welcome in small amounts, well-behaved. Food number 8, smoothies, even green ones. Smoothies seem like the perfect healthy food. Fruits, vegetables, all blended up for easy digestion. But they can be blood sugar disasters. When you blend fruit, you break down all the fiber that normally helps control blood sugar. Plus, most smoothies contain multiple fruits, which means multiple servings of sugar hitting your bloodstream at once. A typical smoothie can contain 40 to 60 grams of sugar. Patricia, a 71-year-old retired teacher, was drinking green smoothies every morning for breakfast. She couldn't understand why she was hungry again by 10 a.m. and craved sweets all day. When she started eating whole fruits and vegetables instead, her blood sugar stabilized and her energy improved. Eat whole fruits and vegetables instead. If you must have smoothies, use mostly vegetables, limit fruit to 1/2 cup, and add protein powder or Greek yogurt. Now here's the deal. Smoothies have a great reputation. They show up on health blogs, in yoga studios, and at overpriced cafes where everything tastes like kale and sadness. But what most people don't realize is that many smoothies are just sugar bombs in disguise, wearing a green cape and pretending to save your health. Let's do the math. A banana, a mango, a handful of berries, maybe a splash of orange juice. Sounds healthy, right? But you've just loaded your blender with 4 to 5 servings of fruit, which could mean 50 grams of sugar or more in one sitting. That's more sugar than a can of soda. And at least soda isn't pretending to be good for you. The real problem is what happens when fruit is blended. Blending destroys most of the fiber that normally helps slow down sugar absorption. So instead of a steady rise in blood sugar, your body gets hit with a fast-acting sugar rush. And just like a roller coaster, what goes up must come crashing down, leaving you tired, cranky, and craving another snack by mid-morning. And here's something most people don't know. Your blood sugar can spike while you're sleeping, even if you haven't eaten since dinner. It's called the dawn phenomenon. Between 3 and 6 a.m., your liver releases stored sugar to help wake you up. But if your diet is already filled with sugar-spiking foods, like that innocent-looking smoothie, your liver can overreact and dump too much sugar into your blood. You wake up groggy, even though you slept well, and your fasting glucose numbers are mysteriously high. So what can you do? Skip the fruit-loaded smoothies. If you absolutely need one, go heavy on leafy greens like spinach or kale. Use water or unsweetened almond milk as a base. Toss in some healthy fats like avocado or chia seeds, and keep fruit to 1/2 cup max. Bonus points if you add protein, like a scoop of protein powder or plain Greek yogurt, to slow sugar absorption and keep you full longer. All right, friends, let's wrap this up. We've covered a lot of ground today, but here's what I want you to remember. Those 8 healthy foods: instant oatmeal, dried fruit, whole grain bread, orange juice, low-fat yogurt, granola, white rice, and smoothies. They might be sabotaging your blood sugar without you even knowing it. But here's the good news. You have the power to take control. Start by testing your blood sugar, make simple swaps, and listen to your body. Remember, small changes lead to big results. You've got this. Drop a comment below and let me know which of these foods surprised you the most. And if you found this helpful, give it a thumbs up. It really helps other seniors find this important information. Until next time, stay healthy and keep taking care of yourself. You deserve to feel your best.